Hello and welcome to Tech. I'm Mohammad Adnan, and in this video we are going to discuss about how we can create a cumulative total and what is the use case in the real world scenarios. If you are new to this channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, just click on the subscribe button and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. Now let's get started. This is a Power BI file. In this I have the sales from Jan 2020 to December 2020, even though December is not yet arrived, so it's just an for example purpose. So this is the sales of the current year. So from Jan is 1,81,000, for February is 39,000, and for March is 6,69,000. And on the next column, it is the cumulative total of the current year. So 181 for January, 181 plus 39 is 220,707 plus 669,889. If you look at the calculator, 181,447 plus 39260 plus it is 220,707 plus 669,216 is 889,923. So this is how it cumulative total works, and at the end of the December you will get this total value 550 57 133. And if you look at the graph here on the left side, so the use case is we can easily identify on which month we have progress and which month we have less sale. So if you look at this here, and January we have good, and in February is little low, and in March April we have huge sales, and in May it's slightly less. Again there is up in June, July and August is low. Again September is high, October is low, and November and December is slightly high. So this is how you can able to see the progress of the sales. So let's have a look at the DAX calculation what I have written here. And if you look at this DAX calculation here, it's just an sum x sales table comma sales column. I made a video about the sum and sum x in the DAX. If you haven't seen that, just click on the link given on top of your screen. Now coming back to this one, the sales y is a common sum x, and let's have a look at the cumulative of the current year. It is cumulative of current year. I have used this calculate function and then the sales cy which you have seen just before, and comma I apply the filters here. The filter is all selected value in this report, in this page, and that's in the sales table, that's the table name, and comma the expression is sales table the transaction date is less than the max of the sales transaction date. So whatever the maximum date available for the selected value of this table, any filter or slices applied on this page, then it will take the maximum value of that value and it will calculate the cumulative total unless it reaches the maximum value on a daily basis. So let's have a look at the slicer here. If you look at the slices on this page, I use the 1st of Jan to end of the December. So what if I change it here to end of June itself? Instead of December, I want to change it to June. So it is June 30. Instead of 5057, it is reduced to 3013. So it is showing now only for the 6 months. So the financial year it starts from April to March. So let's have a look at the April to March. So I will take here at the March 31st the end date and April 1st as the start date. As I have the data from January 2019 to December 2020, so I'm filtering by financial year April 2019 to March 2020. In this case, it is calculating this value here. If you look at that, it is keep on increasing this value based on the month. There is another way of creating the cumulative total, but it will restrict it only to the end of the year, like YTD function. But with the help of this function which I used in this video, it will keep on increasing the value subject to the selection what the user has selected. So if you look at here from April to March I have mentioned here, and if you look at the graph here from April to August there is a steady growth here, and after that we have low performance till December end, and again is increase in Jan. February is still low, and then March we have increase here. So by doing that, it is really helpful for the organization to understand the business on which month there is a high sales and which month it is low. So if you can consider here, there is a high until August, from April to August, and after that there is a slowdown in the sales, and again it is increasing in Jan and Feb. There is one thing. Now another use case is, if you look at the second sheet here, it is again from 1st of Jan to end of the December, Jan 2020, and we can compare the performance to current year versus the last year. And if you look at the graph here, first of all, the light color is the current year CY, and the dark color is last year. Okay, this is the last year performance, and the light color is the current year performance. So if you look at here, last year we have a good sale in Jan and Feb, and there is a low sale in April when compared to the current year. And again, there is a slight difference in June, whereas in July, August, and September we have good sales when compared to the current year. And again, during the November and December we have low sales, and this year we have good sales. So with the help of this cumulative total, we can easily identify the performance of this sales between the current year and the last year. So this will be helpful for the top management to decide on the performance of their sales team. So let's have a look at the DAX calculation for this as well. So let's click on here, another sales last year. If you look at the DAX here, what I have written here, so calculate function I used here, and then the sales CY, that's just the sum of the sales, comma, same period last year, and then this is the transaction date. This is a DAX function, same period last year. So what is the period which they have selected for the current year? It is same, it is going to apply it for the last year. And let's have a look at the cumulative total of the last year. So cumulative last year, everything is the same. The only difference is, instead of sales current year, I used here sales last year. So come on, the filter function I used here all the sales table selected value, and then the trans date is less than or equal to the maximum date of the selected trans date column. By doing all those things, we can easily get these informations. So this is the easiest and the coolest way of doing the cumulative total in Power BI. If you know some other way which is more useful and more easy way than this, please let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, just click on the big thumbs up button. If you are new to this channel, or if you haven't subscribed it, just click on the subscribe button, and also press the bell icon to get the latest notifications. But make sure you turn on the notification on your devices. Share it with your friends and colleagues. If you have any queries and feedback, just post it on the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Keep learning. See you in the next video.